Hey, Russell of Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Is this the first Monday of January 2025? Let me see. Let me just check. Yeah. In fact, I was supposed to do something today. I got to check my Sky Miles to make sure they gave me credit for my last trip to Europe. I don't know why it didn't come across initially. And I'm just talking now. I don't know why I'm sharing this with you, but I happen to look at the calendar. And yes, it is the first Monday of 2025, and I had a message, or I put notes to myself on my calendar to say, hey, do this, do that. And one of the things I was supposed to do is check my Delta Sky Miles to make sure that I did get credit for my last trip. So that's it. So hey, hope you guys are doing well. But like I said, happy Monday, happy New Year. If I haven't said happy 2025 to everybody, this is I'm Russell. I'm sorry, I hit that. I didn't mean to do that. I'm Russell of Hotels. I do a daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Yeah, that's 4 days a week. And then if 4 days wasn't enough, I do on air with Russell of Hotels. You know that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about? I do that every Tuesday, right? So that'd be tomorrow. I'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow, but it will be show number 282 if my memory serves me correctly. So I come on, I do these daily check-ins. So I talk about, hospitality, some good, some bad, but it's always consistent. I'm always going to talk about something hospitality, and you can relate it to other businesses if you will, but because I spend so much time in this world of hospitality, that's what I talk about. That's what I devote most of my time to. And when I mean hospitality, hotels, anything within the hotel industry. I mean, it could be operations, it could be sales and marketing, anything, food, because I'm all about the non-meat eats. I don't go really heavy into like being a foodie and all that kind of stuff. I am, but I'm a foodie of non-meat eats, meaning I do not eat meat. And then speaking of that, there's a lot of restaurants in LA. Not a lot, but there's several large companies that are vegan only restaurants that are going out of business. Like Real Food Daily is closing their doors, I think, after today. Sugar Taco, which I heard they may have got a reprieve, but they were supposed to close. And then Sage, which was, well, there was one in Culver City. It had closed already or moved or whatever. But now I hear all of them. I think they had 3 locations throughout LA. They're closing their doors as of, I think, today, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot of those things happening. And, maybe some of the other restaurants, will maybe have vegan options. I don't know what's going on. But, like I said, I don't really talk about the foodie thing. I'll talk about what I like, right? And talk about what I cook, what I prepare myself. But I really don't go into that because it's all about, for me, it's all about hotels, CVBs, Convention and Visitors Bureaus, or DMOs, Destination Marketing Organizations. So I talk about destinations because I am a hotel site selection person, or I have a site selection company where I assist companies and organizations with finding that right hotel for their group, for their, whatever meetings they have. A group is 10 rooms or more, just in case you did not know. I do anything from 10. I've done as many as 650 rooms on a peak night. So just in case you wanted that, you needed some information, you needed some assistance, you needed someone to consult in that space, I do that as well. So when I come and talking about bringing hotels and all that stuff, well, one, I've worked in hotels, and two, now that I don't work in hotels, I bring groups to hotels. So I guess you people will always ask me, where do you come up with this Russell of Hotels? I used to be of hotels, right? I used to work in hotels for 25, 30 years. Then after that, I did some consulting. I still do consulting, but like I said, it kind of morphed into this hotel site selection where I assist companies and organizations with their group, their groups. So if they say, I need a group in Charlotte, North Carolina, okay, well, my job is to find some hotels for them to look at, in the form of proposals from that particular area. So you choose a destination, I find a hotel for you. In fact, I just got 2 calls a day for New York. New York, New York, big city of dreams. So yeah, and these hotels would be in Manhattan. It's a cruise group, right? So I get all kind of stuff. Hotels think about, when they think about group business, they think about which market segment is it? Is it corporate? Is it leisure? Is it association? Is it tour and travel? I mean, there's a lot of different market segments within the hotel space. Mine, they can be the whole gamut. I mean, I do sports, I do association, I do corporate, yeah, and I do a lot of specialty stuff like leisure related stuff. Like this group that I took over to Europe was a leisure group, right? And this one that wants to do New York, they're a leisure specialty group as well. And they're going on a cruise, right? So they need pre rooms, pre cruise rooms, and post cruise rooms. Meaning before they go on their cruise, they want to spend 2 days in New York. They go on their cruise and then they come back and they want to stay 1 day and then they go to the airport and they're gone. Okay, so that's what I mean by pre and post. Hey, did I put on my? I'm sorry, I didn't put on my comments. Let me throw the comments on. I'm live on LinkedIn and YouTube, just in case you did not know. And these daily check-ins don't last that long. They're about 15, 20 minutes. I'm already at 6 minutes, so I'm doing okay, right? I'm doing okay. And every time I do a show, daily check-in or on air with Russell of Hotels, I'm always going to talk about or display or showcase a hotel. Okay, a hotel, or well, I'll tell you what else other than hotels I'll display. But this is the Marriott Marbella in Spain, España. So yeah, so we stayed here. This is one of the. So we did, I want to say 3 hotels and 2 like Airbnb-ish kind of things. Okay, I'll kind of explain which ones those are. But so yeah, but they were all great. And I'm live in LA, just in case you know. I'm back. I'm here in LA. I think I'm in LA until maybe the end of the month, and then I have a trip coming up. Got a group going on. So yeah, so let's move forward because like I said, these things don't have to be that long. I tend to make them long just because I like talking and I have no one to talk to but you guys. So this is the once again, this is the Marriott Marbella in Spain. So Marriott Marbella in Marbella, Spain. Okay, that's the name of the city. Okay, so if you can just look up Marriott Marbella and it'll pop up. It's a resort. It's on the ocean. Of course, this is a pool area. It's the restaurant is right over here. Restaurant and bar right there. We ate in there a couple times. In fact, they had a vegan paella. Okay, so Spain is big on paella, right? The kind of rice dish that it can have seafood, it can have chicken. I think they throw sausage in there too, whatever. Well, I just want a vegan one. I just want one with vegetables. That's it, because that's all I eat, right? So they made one for me. I mean, it was on the menu. So, and it takes about 30 minutes, so they have to put that order in quick. In fact, every restaurant you go to that serves paella, they want to make sure they'll take that order first. Like, is anyone gonna have paella? And like, yes. Okay, well, let me put that in first because it takes at least 30 minutes before it's prepared, before it's done. So yeah, I put my order in for my paella. The only thing was I don't know. I'd never had paella before. Okay, never, not even in the States. You know, you go to some restaurants, we make paella. Well, I never even had it anywhere. So that was my first experience. And I don't have anything to gauge it against, right? Because you have to have something to gauge it against before you can say, oh, this was good. Oh, this was better than that one. I have to have a gauge, right? So I've never had it before, and I only had it once in Spain. I was going to go to one place, one restaurant, have a vegetarian or vegan paella, and then go to another one and have the same kind of thing. And then that way I can compare. Well, the spice is different. The flavor was a little better over here, but I have no gauge. I mean, I had one at one restaurant, and I mean, it was good. I ate it. In fact, it was so much you order and it's enough for 2 people, right? And they charge you for 2 people. And I said, okay, that's fine. I'll just take the rest home. Back to the room, right? So that's what I did. So and I ate it the next day, and it was good. It was, you know what? You know how certain things are better the next day? That paella was better the next day. I don't know why, but it just was. But anyway, so this is the Marriott Marbella in Spain. That's the pool area. We were there about 3 or 4. No, we were there, maybe stayed there 5 days, but we use this as our base camp, if you will. So we did excursions from here. Okay, so we flew in to Marbella, or actually to Malaga, and then Marbella is maybe 30 minutes from the Malaga airport in Spain. And then we went to Morocco and then to Barcelona, but then we always came back here to Marbella, Spain, to the Marriott as our kind of our home base, right? And then from here, when we left, we went to France, and then from France back to LA. So if that makes any sense at all, probably not, but that's okay. That's all right. That's okay. Oh, remember the blog? Okay, the blog. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I was saying we stayed at several hotels and we stayed at kind of Airbnb. So Eric Vocal it's called Sagrada Familia Suites. Okay, so this is in Barcelona. So we spent some time, at least a day in Barcelona, and we stayed, instead of opting for a hotel, sometimes when you're dealing with groups, you got to go with the most economical way because you got several people that are going with you, right? And you're trying to say if you got 10, 20 people with you, sometimes a hotel is not economic. Okay, so sometimes you have to kind of branch off to maybe use maybe an Airbnb. So this is kind of like these are like apartments slash suite slash Airbnb slash hotel. It's run like a hotel, but it's managed like a hotel. I mean, they have housekeeping, all that kind of stuff. But it's actually, I mean, you can book it through like hotels.com or whatever, or you can go to ericvocal.com, I believe, and you can book it through them as well. But they're run like hotels. But they're in a building. They're like in an apartment building. But a lot of these, I think most of these are dedicated to like long-term stay, or people like myself or my group that came in and we stayed a couple of nights or whatever and then checked out. So I mean that's basically it. And you can come and go, and even if you come in after hours, they have like a key machine, right? Like a machine that disperses your room key because everything is like electronic, right? So everything's electronic. Your TV in your room is all based on, has like, Netflix and all that. So there's no regular TV. You have to have, memberships to all these different apps and all this kind of stuff, which is the way things are going anyway. So it kind of reminds me of, if you guys know Casa, Kasa, which is here in the States. So go casa.com and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So Eric Vocal would be similar to Casa here in the States. Okay, same concept, same exact concept where some Casas actually are hotels that they kind of have converted. Some of them are apartment buildings where they convert to like a hotel slash Airbnb slash Casa. Okay, so look up Casa, Kasa.com, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And Eric Vocal is similar to that. And let me change this because I just noticed that this thing should not be white. It should be, let's see what blue looks like, shall we? Let's see what blue looks like. I had to change the color of the font here. So, because you guys probably didn't see it was white before. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know why I didn't see it before that. But anyway, anything that I talk about is on the blog. Okay, that's where I came to this page. Everything I talk about is on my blog. So just go russellofhotels.com, go to the blog, drop down, hit that button, bing, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, and also, I am live on YouTube and LinkedIn, right? So if you go to YouTube, say you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do so. I beg you to go ahead and do that. I would appreciate it. So I would appreciate it. So just go to Russell of Hotels on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that button, and it'll go bing. And then every time I go live, you'll get a notification. He's like, oh my God, that Russell of Hotels guy, he's going live again. Let me go check him out. And he goes live for like at least 5 days a week, which I do on the same platforms. The replay is on those platforms as well. So just so you know. And every time I do one of these things, not only do I display hotels, or in this case, like Airbnbs that I've stayed in on this particular trip. What was I going to say? I also have a topic. I also share a topic. Now, if you check me out on Friday, the same topic I did talk about two of the items. Now it's a total of six. I'm gonna go through four today. Probably go through all six because I want to remind you of the ones I went through on Friday. But just in case you missed it on Friday, it's okay. You didn't miss anything. It's gonna be here. So let me just click and get to it. And we're at, let's see how many minutes now. We're at 15 minutes, so we're good. We're good. Okay, so I'm gonna get through these real quick, so they don't take that long. So this is a riad in Marrakesh, Morocco. So a riad is basically a traditional Moroccan home that they have converted into what, like an Airbnb slash hotel. It's run like a hotel, managed like a hotel, but it's actually a home that has been converted for tourists for the most part. So there we are. Here we are, right? So and we found this on hotels.com, I believe. Yeah. So over in Europe and some of these other countries, this is, Morocco's in North Africa. For people that don't know their geography, Morocco is in North Africa. North Africa is right across from southern Spain. So from Malaga, Spain, where we were staying, and that's the airport that we flew in and out of, it's about an hour and a half flight. So it didn't make sense for us to go that part of the world and not experience Morocco too. So we spent like almost 2 days in Morocco. Phenomenal, exciting. I mean, it was great. Have you ever been to Morocco? If you haven't been to Morocco, it's not for everybody. I'm gonna tell you that it is not for everyone. And sometimes you got to check. And I notice this about people that maybe Americans that go over. They don't check their attitude. They don't check their American attitude before they go over there. Okay, because things are not the same. This is another country, totally different from anything in America. Okay, totally different, 100% different. And sometimes we go over there thinking that we're going to get the same things, or thinking you can talk to people any kind of way. Well, no, that's not how you do it. You be mindful of customs, of religion, of just the way, things are done over there, culture. Do your research before you go to a foreign country. That would be my advice to anyone that's going to a foreign country. I don't care what country it is. Be aware of their customs, be aware of their religions, all those kind of things, because those things do matter, and we need to respect what they do over there, because guess what? Go over there and don't respect what they do and see what happens. I'll just say that. But had a great time, phenomenal time. Would definitely go back. I would definitely go back. The food, and they have their own vibe. It's their own vibe. They're not copying from anyone else. They're not pulling things from, no. It's 100% completely Moroccan stuff that's going on in Morocco, as it should be. So there you go. But this is one of the bedrooms that we had. We had a 4-bedroom. No, it was 4 bedrooms on 3 floors. It had a rooftop patio. I mean, this place was decked out. It was nice. It was very nice, and it was in this thing they called a Medina. A Medina is the community where, like, the housing is, there can be restaurants there. There can be, little stores and shops there as well. I wouldn't call them stores. I would call them more shops. But it was definitely unique. It was definitely, it was a cultural thing. It was great. I had a ball. We all had a ball. We all enjoyed it. Definitely, I enjoyed the food, because with me not eating meat, there's always some options, because a lot of these countries in North Africa, they have a lot of vegan options, a lot of vegetarian options. So for me, it was great. It was great for everybody, but for me especially, I was looking so forward to it. When we finally figured out that we were gonna do Morocco, I was doing my research. I'm like, oh my God, the food I'm gonna eat, the tangine. They cook the food in the tangine, and oh my gosh, just stop it. And the Moroccan tea, I love the Moroccan tea so much. I brought, like, I don't know, big bags of tea back here to the States, right? Different types of tea. Oh man, it's so good. I'm still drinking it to this day. I didn't drink any this morning. I drank some last night though, and I'm gonna drink some. I'm gonna drink some sometime today. I just didn't drink any yet, but sometime today I am. So anyway, okay, let me get to the topic. See, I'm getting caught up here. I'm getting caught up. So, are your goals? This is what I talked about on Friday. Are your goals realistic for 2025? Now, specifically, I'm going, I'm speaking to the hospitality industry, hotels, CVBs. We always get these goals. And I just remember when I was on property several years ago, and probably one of the deciding factors for me to leave a hotel was I was told I needed to sign off on some goals for not just for me, for my team, right? And I said, I'm not signing off on those goals because those goals are not realistic. They have these lofty owners, and sometimes GMs get caught up in this whole thing as well. I was a director of sales and marketing. We get caught up in these lofty goals, and we don't see where these goals come from. Sometimes ownership dictates what they want to make. Well, that's wonderful, but where are they getting these numbers from? And if they can't explain to me where you got these numbers from, because my numbers are different from the numbers that they have, okay? Let's just throw that out there. My numbers are totally different from what they have. I'm like, where are you getting your numbers from? Because I can give you facts about why I came up with these numbers, what's going on, is there new supply coming on in the area? Now, supply means is there more hotels coming in the area? Is there business that's coming in? There's business that's leaving. All those things matter. Economic factors, what's going on if you're downtown, what's going on downtown? There's going to be a lot of construction. Are the Olympics coming in? I mean, a lot of these things, you got to look at history. You got to look at the future as well. So there's a lot of things that come into play when you're talking about coming up with goals for your hotel or for your destination or for whatever, right? So I know as a director of sales and marketing, I had been doing it for a long time, where to get this information from, right? I mean, the information is out there. Ownership gets this information too. Well, they wanted some number that was just, and I'm talking about in the millions, okay? It wasn't like, okay, $1 million. I mean, $1 million would have been, okay, all right. It'd have been a little stretch, but $1 million over the previous year based on what was going on, based on companies moving out, based on no companies moving in, based on new supply, meaning new hotels coming into the area. Over $1 million, $3 million is what they were asking for. $3 million was out of the question. And I'm like, there's no way that's going to happen. Well, we have to sign off on it because the ownership, I said, no, you have to sign off on it. I said, I'm not putting my name on anything like that because it doesn't make sense. And I said, well, let me talk to him. And no. Everything has to come through me. I said, well, okay, let me talk to you and explain everything. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I mean, this is my general manager telling me this. And I'm like, what? You're not going to go back and tell or inform the owner, this is what's possible. What you're asking for is unrealistic and it's never going to be made. No. And then I find out that, people, when it comes to that, some owners, like maybe they don't want to hear that. And sometimes we fear for our jobs and all this and that. And I said, I basically said, I'm not signing off on that because that's unrealistic. These are unrealistic goals and you have unrealistic expectations. That's exactly what I said. I said, well, if you don't sign off on this, well, we're going to have to do what we have to do. And I said, you don't have to do what you have to do. That's all, at this point, if I'm telling you I can't achieve these goals, there's no reason for me to be here. If you think that you're going to hold my feet to the fire and say, well, you got to do, no, you don't. So at that point I had to make a decision. Do I want to stay here? And go through all the crap of not being able to make these goals, knowing darn well before I even get to that point, I know we cannot make them, or I need to leave. And guess what? I left. So sometimes you have to come, and this, every situation is different. Don't say, oh, Russell said I need to leave, so I need to leave. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have to look at your situation that you're in. And I always ask people, I just asked someone that like 2 weeks ago, no, last week, not 2 weeks ago, last week. I said, hey, going into 2025, are your goals realistic? And they said, no, they're not. We have so much going on and we're competing with big hotels. Now this is like a select service hotel that's competing with bigger hotels in this particular market segment. So, and so they have to put their prices where they have to put their rates where the big hotels are. They just have to. There's no other way around it. So because if they put them too low, what happens if something's too low? People don't want to book it. They think something's wrong with the product. but this hotel has the best location out of all the hotels. So they kind of have to price themselves kind of in between, a low point and the middle point. They can't be as high as some of the full service hotels, but in some days they have to. Like if they're going after certain pieces of business or it's a certain time of year, sometimes they have to do that, right? So it can be a dicey situation or iffy situation. So, but even they said, there's two people that I talked to, they said no, they're not the goals are not realistic, but we have to do what we have to do. And I said, I completely understand that. So, okay. So with that, now that I gave you a little background on that and, what I think about stuff, what I think about things, I'm going to give you the ones that I have here. So I have 6. So are hotel goals realistic for 2025? As the hospitality industry looks ahead to 2025, setting realistic and achievable goals is crucial for success in a rapidly evolving landscape. To determine if hotel goals are realistic, we need to consider several factors. Okay, number 1, market trends and demand. Are the goals aligned with emerging travel trends such as sustainability, wellness, tourism, and personalization? I mean, things have changed, right? Gone. I mean, these days we're looking at different things, sustainability, wellness tourism. I mean, depending on the hotel, depending on where you are, certain things apply. Personalizations. A lot of hotels are going to personalization where, guests can curate whatever excitement or experience that they want to get from your hotel or from your area, right? So a lot of times they're looking for what is there to do in your area. I want to curate my own tour plan or whatever they want to do, right? Can they do that at your hotel? Not every hotel, not every market is doing that or able to do that, but there's a lot of them there are, and a lot of guests are looking for that. Okay, so just if you haven't heard of that, you need to kind of do your research on that. Do they reflect realistic projections of travel demands? Is a lot of travel coming in your area? What's going on? What historically, what's been happening for this year? Are the Olympics coming to town? I mean, are there anything that's going to spike your occupancy other than the regular trends? Are things going on there? Or are you looking at a flat year, meaning it's going to be the same as last year, maybe some bumps here and there, maybe some opportunities? What about group business? Are you able to get group business? What are you doing to achieve that? What are you doing to go out and find that new group business? Do they reflect realistic projections of travel demand, including the resurgence of group and travel business? That's what I just said. Is there opportunities for that? Because we know the last couple of years that had been flat or had been lower than we had anticipated coming out of COVID. Remember COVID, people were saying, oh, it's 18 months we'll be back. And then people say, oh, well, 2025, it's going to be back. All the travel, all the corporate group and all this kind of stuff. Well, now we're in 2025. And are we projected to have all that? Only you know that, right? Only you know what's going on in your books. Every market's different, okay? LA, downtown LA is different than, say Long Beach. Long Beach is different than Pasadena. Pasadena is different than Ontario. I'm speaking of things in Southern California or the greater LA area. So everything is different. So you got to look at what's going on in your area, and maybe some of the other stuff that may impact yours. How many citywides are coming on in LA that may impact, some of the other outlying cities or outlying communities from that downtown Los Angeles? If things are down in downtown LA, well, guess what? You're going to be down too. If you had relied in the past on compression, compression is when if there's a citywide convention downtown LA and it's taking up all the rooms, you're going to feel everything in the outlying cities like the Long Beaches, maybe into Orange County, maybe into the Inland Empire or, down, East LA and east of that, right? Or into the Valley, or maybe even all the way to Santa Monica, or the East Bay, which is like Torrance and Hermosa Beach and Redondo Beach and Manhattan Beach and all that stuff. Is that happening? Do you foresee that stuff happening? If not, then, once again, you got to look at that stuff too. Number 2, economic Economic and regional factors. How do global economic conditions or regional influences affect travel patterns? Are budget allocations practical given inflation and cost increases? Yeah, what's going on? I mean, all these things matter. Number three, operational capacities. Do the goals consider staff retention and training challenges? Hmm. Are we back? Are we up to staffing levels? Do we have enough people to do everything we need to do? I mean, that's an obvious question, right? That's a good question, right? Do we have that? I was at and this is a side thing, and this is in the hospitality industry too, but it's not hotels. I rented a car. I'm in LA, right? I rented a car from Budget, which is at LAX. Now, for anyone, and this is another side thing within a side thing, the new rental car area near LAX is phenomenal. Only issues I have, each individual rental car place, rental car company, i.e., Budget, they need more staffing. Okay, I'll just say that. But as far as the entire system, when this new monorail system comes on in LA at LAX, that's going to be phenomenal because it's going to take you directly from where you rent your car, or maybe you turn in your car, to LAX. So you just get on the people mover, which is like a monorail system now. It's not open yet, but you'll take it right to the terminals, which is going to be so cool. And then from the terminals, you can take it to the rental car place, which should eliminate or alleviate some of that, the bus traffic that goes around in LAX right now. So it should be cool. Just from the outside looking in, it looks like it's going to be phenomenal. But what's not going to be phenomenal is that when I went to rent a car at Budget Rental Car, there was like 50, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm gonna say 50 to 60 people in line waiting to rent a car. There were 3 people working. I was in that line for damn near 2 hours. Okay, because nothing is fast, right? You got to give this, you got to give credit card, give it this, your ID, all this stuff, your firstborn, you got to do all that stuff. So it's nothing streamlined. And I don't book enough through Budget that I'm a fast pass or whatever that is. But I'm just there. Of course, I'm taking video of all this stuff, right? And I'm just there experiencing it for myself. And it is lousy. Budget, you need to, LAX, I'm just saying Budget, LAX, they need to, reconsider, bring some more people in. And maybe they don't have the staff. Maybe they don't have enough staff. I don't know. But I just know that, during that time, there needed to be more people working. This was a holiday weekend coming to LA. You got multiple things going on here in LA. So that tells you that, hey, we need to have more people on these desks, on these whatever, taking care of our customers, right? And it's funny, I just got the, what do you call it? The evaluation or how did we do kind of thing this morning. And I'm like, you didn't do well. I mean, everything else, the car was fine. I didn't have any issues with the car. I didn't have any issues with bringing it back. Once I got the car, it was fine. It was easy getting out of there, but it's just getting to the desk and only 3 people working is ridiculous. That is not a good thing. That is not a good look. So everything else outside of that is great. It's going to be a great addition to that LAX area, but each individual rental car company needs to do a better job because that is ridiculous. Okay. Woo. Number 3. Did I go to number 3 already? Am I at operational capacity? Do the goals consider staff retention? That's where I was. Staff. That's how I got off on the tangent, right? With Budget Rental Car. Training. Do we have enough staff? Do we still have these training challenges? Are operational efficiencies and resources sufficient to support the targets? Number 4, technology and innovation. Our goals, leveraging technology like AI for customer engagement, dynamic pricing, and seamless operations. Yeah, are we looking into AI? Can AI take some of this stuff, some of the pressure away from us? Can we do things more online where AI can take care of us? Or not? Maybe not. Maybe we haven't looked at those things, and maybe we should kind of look at some of those things. And this is the rental car industry. This is hotels. This is, I'm not sure so much DMOs, but I'm sure there's some things that we can use AI for. Chatbots and things like that. If you're not using chatbots, I mean, you're missing the boat on that as well. So there's a lot of things that we could be looking at as far as technology But hey, we got to look at it, and we got to be all in with it, right? Because technology is not cheap, and I understand that. But sometimes in the long run, it's better to do it, and then you'll make more money on the back end. If you get more people in, you can take up care of more people. On the back end, you're gonna make more money. Number 5, marketing and brand awareness. Is there a clear and actionable plan to increase visibility through social media and content marketing? Is there? Are goals around brand awareness supported by data driven strategies? I mean, there's a lot of things we could be doing to let people know that this brand exists. We are here. We're here. We're not going away. So, I mean, those are things. Visibility, increased visibility through social media. Are we using social media to its potential? And I'm specifically, I'm specifically talking to hotels. Are you using social media to the fullest extent? Because I still see hotels that aren't doing it. I mean, I I'm here to assist, right? Just like you didn't know what a riad was until, well, some people did, but I just mentioned what a riad is, right? Now, I didn't give the specific name of this riad, but I did give, it's in Marrakesh, Morocco, and I did mention how you could book a riad in Morocco, right? So, and there's other hotels that I'm showing that maybe you didn't even know existed, right? So my job is to make sure people know that your brand exists. And that's through marketing, through brand awareness. Now, I just happen to have a platform called the Daily Check-In with Russell of Hotels and On Air with Russell of Hotels, which will allow me to showcase hotels, rental car companies, or whatever it is, anything that involves the hospitality industry. I'm here to assist with that. So this is a way to market, to create brand awareness. Are we doing enough? That's the question. I mean, this is one avenue to do that, but there's other ways to do it too. But it all involves getting involved in social media and being consistent. Not getting involved, being consistent. Always doing something. It's a full-time job. Remember, I do things now I'm doing I'm doing things 7 days a week in order to promote my brand and what I do. And I'm not a hotel. Are you the person that manages that hotel? Are you doing something similar to let people know that you exist? Only you can answer that question, right? And number 6, guest expectations. Do the goals reflect what today's travelers want? Unique experiences, sustainability, and personalization. Is there a focus on enhancing guest satisfaction and loyalty? At the end of the day, that's all we want, right? We want guests to be loyal. We want guests to come back. But let's be frank, or let's be honest. Are guests that loyal anymore? Have we forgotten about the guests? Are we allowing them to go elsewhere without a fight? Because people will pick and choose where they want to go. Yeah, I have one airline that I want to use all the time, but realistically, I can't because this Delta airline doesn't fly everywhere. And sometimes it's cheaper to go another route. You know, maybe Southwest Airlines flies in there. So I got 2 favorites, Southwest and Delta, okay? Now, I'll throw American and United in there if I have to, depending on, and also depends on who's paying. Right? Am I paying for it or is someone else paying for it? So it all depends, right? But am I that loyal? I wish I was more loyal if, you know, and the reason why I'm not just airlines is because of it's the lift going into certain destinations. That's the only reason why. If one airline flew to every destination that I go to, yeah, I would definitely rely on one airline. So, or their partners, right? Like say Air France is partners with Delta. Okay, so I'm a big Delta fan here. And now I'm an Air France fan flying overseas, right, to Europe. Although Air France, they, you know, I don't want to go get into that, but they did some things that, you know, I mean, some things you can't control, some things you can, but it's how you handle the things you cannot control. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, so let me move on because I'm at 40 minutes now. I didn't mean to talk this long. So, once again, market trends and demands, economic and regional factors, operational capacities, technology and innovation, marketing and brand awareness, and guest expectations. Those are things you need to look at to see if your goals are realistic. And sometimes we don't even include all these things. When we're doing those marketing plans, we're coming with these marketing plans to support whatever these numbers are. We need to make sure that it all makes sense. It all has some of these factors in there, market trends and demands. Or are we still doing the old marketing plan like we did years ago? I haven't done a marketing plan for a hotel in a while. So as a director of sales and marketing, so I'm not sure what they look like, but something tells me they still look the same as they did. And we're not looking at what the guests are looking for. We're not considering them. We're not considering technologies that would bring more guests in, that guests are looking for. Okay. What about the sustainability aspect? If we are doing things in the world of sustainability, we need to let people know, because guess what? That's a selling factor. That's something you can sell to someone, and like someone's gonna say, "Oh my God, I'm into sustainability too. I'm staying at that hotel." I mean, those are things that you should uplift and let people know that, hey, we're doing this. Hey, we offer vegan meals. We do this, we do that. All those things matter. Okay, but sometimes we don't take advantage of those things because we're just so used to just being reactive. We're just reacting to, we need do another marketing plan for this budget that's not realistic, but we're gonna do it and we're gonna make it. We're gonna back these numbers into it. Okay, this is the number that they're giving us. We're gonna back all this stuff into it. Believe me, I've done that before. I know how it works, right? So just make sure the goals are realistic. And it's okay to challenge people and say, hey, where do you come up with these numbers from? Can you tell me how we came up with these numbers? Why not? I mean, if you're responsible for the numbers, ask how they came up with them. Seems simple to me. But anyway, let's move on. So I got that. So you don't have to worry about writing that stuff down. You can just go to my website, russellofhotels.com, go to the blog, and all that stuff is right there. So once again, tomorrow on air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show. It'll be show number 282. We'll be on tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Okay. What's the topic? I'm not sure, but you'll know. You'll find out. You'll find out tomorrow. And that's about it. So yeah, that's the Eiffel Tower. So it was cool just being under it. I mean, I'd never been there before. I'd never been to I'd never been to Europe before. That's my first time going there. I've been to China. I've been, Asia, but I've never been to Europe. So this is my first time, and definitely will go back. Second time in Africa, but first time in North Africa. So, of course, it was my first time in Morocco, but it definitely will not be my last time there because I kind of liked it. But anyway, that is it. I'm sorry it took so long today, but sometimes when you're away for a while and you get something that's kind of you're passionate about, meaning goals, are they realistic? Do you have realistic expectations and goals? Ask people that you work with, or the ones that are in charge of putting up these numbers and giving out goals. Ask them where they got these numbers from. I mean, don't just accept it like, oh, okay, well, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I can do it. No, where'd you get these numbers from? Just let me know. I'm not saying I can't do them. I want to know what the thought process is, because it will teach you. If maybe you have aspirations of being a director of sales and marketing or a general manager one day. Well, you need to know your training starts now. I want to know now what the heck or how the heck you came up with these numbers. You just pull them out your butt? Because some people do. There's some owners that pull things out of their butt. Like, I want this number. Well, where are you coming from? Well, no, I just pulled it out of here. That's up to you to come up with it, to figure it out. I've had that before too. I'm like, what? Excuse me? Anyway, that's enough. But anyway, any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me, russell@russellofhotels.com. That is the email. Or you can go to russellofhotels.com. That is, what is that? Russell of Hotel. Yeah, that's the website. And my phone number is there. If you want to, feel free to call me. Just do it. Pick up the phone. phone and call me. People call me all the time, ask me questions, or they slide into my DMs and say, hey, what about this? What about that? I like this, or I didn't like that. Someone told me I just got something on YouTube, right? A message on YouTube. They said, I don't show enough of the hotel. Show me more of the hotel. So I said, thank you. And I'll take that under advisement next time. I said, I didn't, realize that I wasn't showing enough of the hotel. But yeah, so that was good feedback. I appreciate that. So the next time I'm at a hotel, I'm gonna show so much that you're gonna say you're showing too much of the hotel. But anyway, that is it. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys rolling with me the last couple years. 282 shows of On Air with Russell of Hotels as of tomorrow. And I appreciate you guys supporting me on this new thing that I started 2 years ago, the daily check-in. So I'm here. I'm still going to do it. I'm still rocking with you guys. So, hey, I appreciate you rocking with me. So until tomorrow, have a great day. And as always,